Have you ever owned a gadget that was functional, stylish, and timeless? Do you know the TV remote control existed way back in the 50s? Although we're in the era where smartphones, tablets, and Alexas that do everything, there were gadgets from the past that everyone wanted. Be sure to stick around for the last gadget because some people use this to save themselves from spammers, annoying texts and notifications, and leaked privacy. Zenith Space Command. The Zenith Space Command was the first wireless remote control for televisions when it debuted in 1956. What made this remote so unique was its ability to let viewers change channels and adjust the volume from up to 30 feet away without any cords. And while that may not be as impressive today, this was the peak of technology in the 50s. Despite the fancy space-age name, however, the remote couldn't actually turn on the TV if it was off, so you still had to get off the couch. We'll venture your granddad or great-granddad thought it was pretty cool at the time.
Visa, MasterCard, and checks are welcome. Hurry, sail in soon. Today through Sunday, Holiday Inn 6 flights, I-20, Fulton Industrial Boulevard, Atlanta. Hurry, supply limited.
Panasonic Home Microwave Oven. This vintage home microwave oven, released as the first affordable consumer microwave back in 1966, revolutionized the way people cooked and reheated food in their homes. This model was designed to fit neatly into kitchen spaces and featured basic controls for setting cooking times and power levels. While early microwave ovens were relatively expensive and not yet common in households, they gained popularity over time due to their convenience and time-saving benefits. This microwave oven retailed for $495, or over $4,000 in today's money. It was still much less expensive than previous commercial models back in that era. However, we doubt anyone would want to spend that kind of money on a microwave today.
And I have a drawer microwave here. Let me go ahead and open this up. Perfect.
Palm Pilot. The Palm Pilot is a personal digital assistant. Sounds fancy, right? It was released in 1996 as one of the most affordable and user-friendly handheld devices for managing personal data. It was also much lower cost at $300 and featured innovations like handwriting recognition for input. Though basic by today's standards, features like the address book, to-do list, and note-taking made it wildly useful, especially paired with the folding keyboard. The Palm Pilot sparked the PDA craze and the Crackberry, predating the dependence of smartphones we have today.
Check out this Palm handheld from CompUSA. It manages your calendar, gets email. Oh, here's one. The Fed needs me to lecture on our monetary system.
Casio G-Shock. The Casio G-Shock watch, introduced in 1983, revolutionized the watch industry with its rugged and tough design and advanced innovative features. With a triple protective design that could withstand a 10-meter fall, the G-Shock was created to be the first ever unbreakable watch. Not only was the G-Shock rugged, it also featured a unique design, as well as handy features like a timer, calendar, and alarm. It became so popular worldwide that it spawned an entire lineup of collectible and distinctive G-Shock watches that are still very cool today.
The Casio G-Shock has a super powerful shock absorber. That's why it withstands so much shock. Casio G-Shock.
Canon Pocketronic Calculator. Introduced in 1970, the Canon Pocketronic was one of the very first portable calculators aimed at the average consumer. What set it apart was its tiny size. The first models could literally fit in your pocket. This was an incredible feat, considering most calculators before were large desktop devices costing thousands of dollars. The Canon Pocketronic also had quiet electronic operation and performed complex functions like squares, square roots, and percentages, useful for both students and businessmen alike. We bet tech guys at the time were smiling ear to ear with this gadget.
Dear Grandma, thanks for the Canon Pocket Printer calculator you sent me. Everyone loved it. Mom said whenever Dad took it, he looked like a ticker tape parade. So could you send me another pocket printer?
The Canon Pocket Printer. Every family should have one, maybe more.
Philips N1500 VCR. This VCR debuted in 1972 as one of the world's first commercial VCRs for home use, and what made it groundbreaking was its ability to not only play pre-recorded videotapes, but also record live television onto blank cassettes. This was utterly revolutionary back in the early 1970s. Gee, even I didn't know you could do that back then. Retailing for $975 initially, which is equivalent to over $6,500 today, the N1500 was very expensive but still desirable for the privilege of time-shifting television shows. You had to be Dr. Evil to own one of these things.
When you have a Philips television recorder, you don't have to miss anything. The Philips television recorder records TV when you can't watch. The Philips television recorder.
IBM Model 5150. IBM shocked the computing world when it launched its first mass-market personal computer with the 5150 in 1981. IBM introduced personal computing capabilities and power typically found only at the enterprise level, but in an affordable, off-the-shelf package meant for the average consumer, retailing for $1,565 or around $4,700 today. The versatile 5150 could be used for anything, from word processing to data management to gaming. Now, by today's standards, it was a snail of a machine with just 16 kilobytes of memory. You have to wonder how much work people could do back then.
This is the story of the IBM PC. It's a story that continues to this day, so I'm not going to be able to fully do it justice in just the next 25 minutes. The IBM PC is the only early microcomputer that wasn't a dead end.
Apple Macintosh. 3 years later, the Macintosh was famously introduced to the world through a high-profile television commercial directed by Ridley Scott, which aired during the 1984 Super Bowl. It was one of the first personal computers to popularize and redefine ease of use with its innovative graphical user interface. Though GUI interfaces existed earlier on expensive systems, the Macintosh brought this user-friendly paradigm to the average consumer. It marked one of the first times a computer's interfaces focused on usability and intuitiveness for the everyday user, rather than just processing power. The Macintosh had a profound cultural impact, influencing not only the computing industry, but also popular culture and design.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Nintendo SNES. When it was released in 1990, the SNES quickly became the must-have console for gamers around the world. With its 16-bit processor and dedicated graphics and sound chips, the SNES delivered richer, more immersive gaming experiences with vibrant colors, detailed sprites, and enhanced audio effects than its predecessor, the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES. Even after many decades after its release, the SNES continues to be enjoyed by a dedicated fan base of retro gaming enthusiasts. Magnavox Magnavox Model 8000 Disco Vision Video Disc Player. Wow, that was a mouthful. The video disc player by Magnavox made waves when it hit the market in 1978 as one of the first commercial laserdisc players. It could play large vinyl-sized discs with up to 30 minutes per side in glorious analog video, which far surpassed the VCRs of the time. It retailed for $749, which was pretty steep, around $3,000 today. The Magnavox 8000 unfortunately failed to displace VHS as the mainstream format, but it still pioneered optical disc storage tech that would be built upon later by CD and DVD formats. Just imagine, video rental stores in the 80s would have looked more like blockbusters from the 90s.
Yes, I can understand you. I'm Leonard Nimoy. A record player that produces beautiful sound and pictures through my TV.
Altair 8800. Named after a destination in Star Trek, the Altair opened up computer programming to hobbyists, which led to innovations like the Microsoft BASIC interpreter. Though quite basic in operation, compared to modern computers, the Altair 8800 blew people's minds in the 1970s, since the average person couldn't fathom having their own computer at home. Of course, with only toggle switches and LED lights for input and output, gaming was limited to text adventures like Zork. Still, the Altair 8800 demonstrated the potential for personal computers long before slick graphical interfaces and browsers. What did people do for fun back then without gaming and the internet?
I wish more computer cases like modern ones came in blue. It's nice. And yes, now, if anyone asks, oh, nice Altair, but does it run Crysis? Well, yes, it does.
Kodak Brownie Camera. The Kodak Brownie camera, which was one of the most popular gadgets of the early 1900s that made photography accessible to the masses. What set the Brownie apart was its ease of use. There were no settings to adjust, and it was small enough to carry around easily. Its slogan was, "You press the button, we do the rest." That meant anyone could use it. For many households, it was the first camera that they could use to take snapshots of family events and vacations. Of course, you had to be perfectly still when taking a photo back then. No selfies. it was probably a good idea to put it on a tripod.
Suppose Dad had a brand new Brownie Star-Matic camera. He'd get the right exposure time after time automatically. So why not take your pictures the modern way? The Brownie Star-Matic costs only $34.50 or as little as $3.50 down.
Connectic QuickCam. The QuickCam was introduced in 1994 as one of the first commercially available webcams for personal computers. It allowed users to capture video and transmit it over the internet. It played a significant role in bridging the distance between people and facilitating face-to-face communication online. We can't deny the impact it had in the early age of personal computing. We bet it would be fun to use a QuickCam for your Zoom meeting today.
Hi, honey.
Hi, darling. How's work?
Not great. Really busy, actually. And we still haven't started the financials.
Oh, poor baby.
So I think we're digging in for a late one tonight. I better go. The sooner I start, the sooner I finish, eh?
All right, darling.
Yep. Cheers, mate. Go around next.
Compaq Desk Pro 386. The Compaq Desk Pro was the most powerful personal computer for the consumer market back in 1986. Up until that point, most home computers used outdated processors. But the 386 chip featured the new blazing fast Intel microprocessor ranging from 1 to 4 megabytes of RAM, which vastly outpaced competitors in terms of power and performance. It quickly gained popularity among business users, government agencies, and academic institutions due to its powerful performance and reliability. It helped solidify Compaq's position as a leading manufacturer of business-oriented computers and set a new standard for desktop computing. Sadly, we still didn't have internet at the time.
Featuring the revolutionary Intel 386SX CPU. I mean, just look at this computer. Isn't this a beauty?
Motorola MicroTac. One of the most revolutionary gadgets to hit the scene in 1989 was the Motorola MicroTac. This was the very first truly portable phone made available to the market. Its sleek, futuristic flip phone clamshell design was like no other phone people had seen before. It utilized analog cellular technology and offered basic calling and messaging capabilities. And innovative features included speed dialing, call forwarding, and memory storage for up to 30 numbers. I know, it doesn't seem so impressive today. Back then, we had to write down and remember people's numbers.
Isn't that big? Wow, that's big. Oh, big.
Well, I like it small. It's for you.
There you have it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to watch another one.